No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It is a new review from me, at True Star Screamer. Did you miss me? 'Cause I missed you. I mean, I know it's been a while, unless of course you've been catching me every Thursday on the Figure Action Podcast. But, I mean, come on, I'm not here to shill all the side projects I've been working on as opposed to neglecting my YouTube channel. I mean, it's not like I'd be telling you about my Instagram, at True Star Screamer, or even my TikTok, at True Star Screamer. I need some new original names. But anyway, we're not here for that. We're here to talk about a figure so unique that it brought me back to YouTube. Who knows? Maybe this might make something a little more regular. If you want me to come back, let me know. Down there in the comments. You know, hit that like button. Say something, interact, talk to me. I know I don't have a lot of time these days, just due to being an adult and all, but I still love my toys, and I still love to take pictures of them. And that's where this guy comes in. This is from Memory Toys. This is their I guess their Savage Rock series, I'm not sure. But this is Mr. G. I wonder what the G stands for. This is their Karate Edition. They actually have a few versions of this guy. They've got the Karate Edition. They've got a Prisoner Edition. They've got a Street Rapper Edition, and they're just coming out with a Police Officer version. This guy, he just kind of sang to me. I saw him once, I think, on a D Amazing video, and then this guy briefly was spoken by Jay Hernandez when he was talking about his top 10 figures as a joke, but I don't know, there was just something crazy about seeing a karate gorilla that I kind of had to have it. And this guy is not expensive when you look at the, you put in comparison of figures like these. This guy was about $65, which most figures like this, especially with all these cloth goods that we'll get into in a second, usually go for about 80 or up, like Mezco's. I'm very happy. Let's just cut to the chase. Already, I am happy. If you want something unique, if you want something new, give this guy a pickup. You will be happy. Review over. No. I'm kidding. Well, as I put him back down, let's talk about it. First of all, the gi itself. This is all soft goods. And it's got some distinct patterning on here. This is Warding, W-A-R-D-I-N-G. There's a shark on here. I don't know if that is his school, kind of like. But also, this is kind of things that kind of made me fall in love with it. There is a Cobra symbol on here. So I do not know how they pulled this off, but they've got a Cobra symbol on here. And down the side of his gi, these are not quite the official, but these are very much like the stats on a G.I. Joe classified box. So that was really cool. Sculpt is phenomenal. Now there are a few things I made. I already did do some, not quite customizing, but I did do some changing on this to kind of fix some of my, I don't want to say shortcomings of the figure, but definitely helped out. I'm actually going to go ahead and take off his black belt here. One thing that kind of annoyed me with the black belt is it has stained the gi. So this is cloth, this is dyed, and there is like a blue bit going around there from his gi. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off and open this guy up so we can kind of look at this physique here. He's got scars. He's got scars on his head. The painting on this is pretty nice. I'm not like tempted to run like a dry brush on this guy or anything, but it's a good gorilla. Now with the gi, I actually put wire. This does not come wired, but I wired this. So I actually took a little bit of NECA twist ties, I was able to run it in from the inside stitch. So I've got the sides here, got them wires that can go open. I also ran a wire down the back. Oh. This is what I was talking about, that black dye. Yeah, this dye's here. So, but this is all wire, so I can pull this up here if I want to make it look like it's flowing. But that's something really easy to do. This has got an elastic band. It runs a little low. I would probably like a little more of an inseam to it. That's just me, just for leg posability. But this uniform looks absolutely awesome. You know, I can have it, like, have the belt going around his shoulders. Give him that whole, like he's just coming to class. Just coming to class. I would love to find a way of putting a wire down the actual side of the gi. Haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's got personality. Of course, other than personality, he does have a few accessories. As I mentioned before, there's other versions of them, and they actually have a few other accessories. One thing that is all the same are going to be the hands. So he's got your open splayed hands. Not really much paint on them. I mean, you could probably put a little bit of gray on the fingers, on the fingernails if you wanted. Also, when I got this guy out of the package, I purposely had to, I had to almost like break the paint on the pins. So these come in, they are incredibly stiff, so you want to actually start them off. So you do have a wrist hinge on them. But you've got the open hands. You've got one fist here. He's got two fists, which he has default. He also has gripping hands, which I think, like I mentioned before, I can put with the uniform on, holding the belt. The other versions, like I mentioned, there's the wrap version of it. He also comes with beer, as well as a gold chain. The prisoner one comes with handcuffs, which look really good. My only qualm about those is everything else is going to be the same. And then he also has here and here. These are supposed to be like a gorilla, you know, walking on his knuckles. I kind of like this as a hammer fist, personally, just because, again, he's doing karate. He also has a secondary head sculpt with an open jaw. This looks awesome. Let's see if I can pop this off here. Come back to that in a minute, no problem. If I want to compare the two faces, okay, there is one thing that does bug me very badly, and that is these scars here. I know these are supposed to be the same jaw, but these two are parallel, and then these scratches here are not. So it's like it travels. So if you did get two Mr. G's, you might have one with the open mouth, one with the closed mouth, and then technically you kind of got like two guys who are going to fight together. I love the expression on this face. It is probably, I don't know, I'm not usually much for like the side eye. It's actually one of my big qualms with current McFarlane figures, which I know he's phasing out, but it works for him. He just has this personality, you know, like the one little fang there, and he just kind of gives the, really, do you really want to try this look? And then this is the, and that's when he knew he screwed up look, because this is a phenomenal rage face. Put this guy on right now, because I haven't seen him with it on. And that just pops in there. Makes world of difference of all of a sudden who we're talking to here. You know, it's got, like I said, this guy has a lot of personality. I think that's one of the biggest things. Final accessory is he's got kind of like the Ryu shoulder bag that he can toss over his shoulders, or if you want to have it as a punching bag, but he, you know, you can just put them in the hand here, and the knots will hold it on there, and he can toss it over his shoulder and be a wandering warrior. The gi does come off, and with that, hands here, which are just on a peg system. I remember when I got this, I was telling the missus that, oh yeah, I'm gonna go be playing with my monkey doll now, which of course does not sound right. But let's see what this guy looks like, and let's put on some fun hands here. Let's get him fisted. That did not sound right. Oh, there are reasons I don't do reviews lives. Let me leave it at that. Okay, so I've got the gi off, which again, like I said, absolutely love, and I mentioned before, put the wire in. As I said, I would love to find a way to get a wire inside this jacket. But looking at Mr. G himself, the gorilla, there's things I like, there's things that kind of let me down, there's improvements that could be made, but I still like it, so let's leave it at that. Sock articulation. There is no butterfly joint. Absolutely, this guy could have used a butterfly joint. But, up and down, usual peg on there, almost like a Build-A-Figure. The elbow is double jointed, but it just gets 90 degrees. I think they could have cut this a little more and cut this a little more. Part of me wants to Dremel this out a little bit just to give that much more bend to it. You know, just literally just cut this, not even, maybe a half a centimeter, if even. And that I think would be able to give a full bend on there. That being said, does have your biceps, you get your bicep, elbow swivel, a little bit of lower swivel, so he can reach across, which is pretty neat. So, but like mentioned, those karate poses, he has a ball joint up here, the barbell joint up here. So this gets a lot of ab crunch. Definitely going back a little. When we took the head off, we saw we've got a barbell joint up here, so we can look up, which is great. Let's go ahead and take the gi pants off, and we'll have ourselves a naked gorilla here, which that might completely prevent me from monetizing this video. No, get this guy down. And there he is, in all his glory. So when I first got this guy out of the package, I have to say, this leg was incredibly loose. And I did put some Kiki in there, so that helped out a lot. So I did have to tighten that joint up. Knees, not even barely a 90. Despite doing karate, he is not going to be doing any side kicks anytime soon. That is a little bit of a disappointment for me, I will say. But I like this guy for his presence. I mean, this just, as a gorilla, this is a great gorilla figure. Is it my favorite gorilla figure? No. We'll talk about that when we just start doing some comparisons. But this is absolutely a fantastic gorilla figure. So if you need a $60, $65 high-end gorilla, I can absolutely endorse this. Again, we look over all sides here, a lot of texture. I could probably dry brush a silverback onto him to make him that much more awesome, which I'm partially tempted to, but then again, I'm going to be having this on him more often than not, so that's up to you. If you got the Savage Rock wrap version of it, you might want to consider that. Again, we got the scratches up here, so that looks great. So we can get some solid poses though. I mean, again, he is a gorilla. Make him look like he's ready to charge or pound the ground. establish some dominance, he absolutely can do that. So, I mean, this is a gorilla, not a ninja. Technically, by doing karate, he's doing hand strikes more than kick strikes. He's not doing taekwondo. So I can't complain too much at all. I mean, let's get this guy dressed up, and I'm gonna do some comparisons. Okay, we're back, and I'm not D-Amazing, I know that. If you see my photography, I'm nowhere near. But I want to do some size comparisons because he does some good ones, but I feel he left some figures out that I really want to see this guy compared against. And let's go with, actually, my first one, because I mentioned about my favorite articulated gorilla, and let me break that out first. That, for me, is the NECA King Kong. I absolutely love this figure. If you do not have this figure and you like giant gorillas, you should get this one. Because this guy actually has, when it comes to the articulation, almost everything that I found a shortcoming covered. Like, he's got enough space in the arms. You know, he can do the full 90-degree. But, and actually a lot of their articulation is very similar. And I gotta say it, his paint's a little better than Mr. G here. But next to each other, he's a little smaller. So this is, you know, a 1/7 scale figure. I'm sorry, yeah, 1/10 scale figure. 1/10? 1/7. Never remember. But he's a little smaller, but they do look good together. Next, we have a NECA Predator. That actually, I really like. I'd almost read a comic for that. So that actually makes me really happy. That looks really good. Now, since he is a fighter, this is the one I'm actually really surprised that D-Amazing didn't do. Here he is with a Storm Collectibles Ryu, Street Fighter character. I think they look really good together as well. They scale very well. I mean, this looks like you definitely walked down the wrong alley, or you tried to bust into the wrong school. So I think these guys will be very photo compliant, and who knows, we haven't gotten the roster for Street Fighter 6 yet, so we could get a giant fighting gorilla. Keeping with the fighting games, here is a Storm Collectibles Scorpion, and also would love to see, also I think would photograph really well. Keeping with the gorilla theme, here he is with Gorilla Grodd from McFarlane. I think these two actually have a little more in common as far as their articulation scheme. And, believe it or not, their painting. So, this is my enforcer! You know, I don't know, it kind of works. I don't hate. I could see them together. Like, him just yelling while Mr. G is being all calm and cool behind him. Of course, Grodd is supposed to be flipping huge, and he's supposed to be the big bully, so it's kind of weird having him having an underling. I know this is the Injustice version, so I know they're coming out with that weird Mega version, who I think is going to be bigger than this, so maybe that might work a little better, but I don't plan on getting that figure personally. We also have the main man himself, Lobo, from McFarlane, and that looks good. I actually think that looks a lot better than Gorilla Grodd. So, he'll work pretty well with your McFarlane. This one I really kind of wanted to see. This is our 80th anniversary Hulk figure. 80th anniversary? No, this isn't the 80th anniversary. This is the 2-pack that came with Wolverine, but it's all the same Hulk buck. That looks really, really good together. So we can have these guys squaring off. And finally, since he does have the uniform, here is a G.I. Joe classified Storm Shadow. This is kind of my proxy also in place of all the other Hasbro bucks out there, you know? Your Bucky Caps, your Power Ranger Lightnings. This is your industry standard for the 1/12 scale, the Hasbro one. And yeah, I think we're going to see some photos taken with this. So, my new student, you shall know. This pleases me greatly, needless to say. I mean, I do not know how Memory Toys got away with putting the Cobra symbol on there without getting any kind of cease and desist. Who knows? They might not. So if you want this guy, get him while you can. Needless to say, I am very pleased with the Mr. G figure. I can't say I give a strong recommend because this is a very niche thing. It's a Karate Gorilla. So if you've been wanting a Karate Gorilla in your collection, this is the best one for it. If you have been wanting something just different, something that's not a superhero, it's just something that, well, will photograph weird that you can still have everybody go against. I can have this guy going against Street Fighter, hunted by a predator, fighting G.I. Joe. I mean, obviously I could have him going against Spider-Man, whatever. This is a great, fun figure. Is it the best gorilla out there? No. Again, I give that to the NECA King Kong. Is this the most innovative figure out there? No. Is it the most articulated? No. But it is fun. And honestly, these days, that's why we collect. I mean, the box art's cool. It just has personality. He's got presence. So if you've been curious about this one and you've got that disposable income, I highly recommend it. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. No, I'm not sponsored. Find a sponsored YouTuber that you like and buy it through theirs. Love that Danhausen. And it's been fun reviewing again. If you guys want me to review again, please let me know. Give us a like, give us a comment. Check me out every Thursday on the Figuarts Podcast. Check me out on Instagram. And I'm trying to get some pictures of this guy out this week. And honestly, it's been surreal. And we'll see you then. Take care.